What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy TKD123, and yes, did I just do a full cut without hitting record on the camera? I did. But beside the point, it is a new recording. It is a new week. We are going to be reviewing Love is Rage 2, Love is Rage 2 by Lil Uzi Vert. And, I've been with this album, for a few days now, and I didn't necessarily sleep on this. This was a 2017 album, but back when it first released, I bumped it for a little bit here and there, but I think something else came out around it where I kind of just chose to review that album that week, other than, this album and everything. So, it's not that I slept on it. It was just something else came out, and I just wanted to review that over this album and everything. So going in to this album's very substantial, I will say. It is, I think, around 20 songs, maybe 19, 18, definitely in that range. And the length of the album definitely speaks to that, because it's an hour and 10 minutes. So definitely a very substantial album. You will get a lot of bang for your buck if you figure it to be a banger. And, at least for me, right, just kind of like my overall thesis of this album, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of this project. I like Uzi. I definitely love, his songs and everything, whenever they bump and everything, stuff like that. I definitely do like, Lil Uzi Vert as an artist and stuff like that. But just, I don't know, man. Just a lot of these songs are not clicking for me personally. I will say that, I think track 4, that, is The Way It Is. I think that's an absolutely great track. I love that song. I think that song is super, super dope. And it's really cool to see an artist try a totally different song, a totally different genre than what he's used to. And definitely that one's a very much of a slower paced song. Definitely really, really good. And of course, no surprise here, I love Unfazed. Of course, the Weeknd's, I'm very, very biased towards Weeknd and EXO in general. So definitely do enjoy that song and everything. And, other than that, really, there's not a lot that really grabs my attention of this album. And I feel also that something has to be said for just the genre, right? So at least with me personally, right? When it comes to trap music and when it comes to this type of style of music, it's very, very hard for me to listen to it by myself, right? Just because I believe that, at least with me, with trap music, there's a certain, vibe and certain mood I have to be in to be able to fully enjoy the music in that genre, right? It's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? It's not like rap, it's not like R&B where I can just, bump it in my room, or bump it when I'm playing games or something like that, or bump it when I'm doing homework. It's definitely a different, different type of style, to where, at least for me, I have to be in a certain, mood or certain environment to fully enjoy, what's being played here. And obviously, for the overwhelming majority of this album, I would thoroughly enjoy it if I was on my way to a party, or at a party, or after a party, or with some friends, you know what I'm saying? Any sort of very, very social, atmospheric place where I'm at, I would for sure, I feel like I would vibe with a lot of these songs. But in a private setting, at least for me personally, a lot of these songs do not really, just vibe with me, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, there are those that do, which are The Way It Is and Unfazed, but pretty much outside of that, and there was one by Pharrell, oh my god, I forgot the name of that song, but that one as well, that one Pharrell, kind of vibes with me, you know what I'm saying? I kind of, dig that song, but, overall, the album is not really clicking with me, personally, and it's not really to say that it's necessarily bad. I will say that a lot of the songs are pretty boring. There are just a lot of songs that are just really, really stale, feel really empty, sounds like he just found a really dope beat or made a really dope beat and just said the most random shit, you know what I'm saying? So there is that. But, overall, I'm definitely not loving this project, not loving this album. But there are gems, obviously, and there are gems with every album where, there is, for the most part, probably going to be something that you'll like about a album in a certain genre that you like, you know what I'm saying? If I would listen to a R&B album from, some random person, chances are there's going to be a song in there, because I love R&B, there's going to be a song in there that I'm going to vibe with and I'm going to like, you know what I'm saying? But just here with this one, I'm just not seeing that, I'm not finding that, so, I don't know what to tell you guys, but, that was part 1 of my review. I'm sure maybe my views will change. Maybe I'll find new songs to appreciate in this project, in this album. but as it stands now, there's a solid 2 that I just love and vibe with, and the rest are just kind of blow away. So I will catch you all in part 2. All right, what is going on, guys? We are back here in the car for part 2 of our review of Love is Rage. I kept saying Life is Rage, I believe, and I got the way it is, it's the way life goes. I got those completely wrong in the first part. Apologies for that. I had to, do a little quick disclaimer of my mistakes. But going into part 2 here, not a lot has changed. I do find that I am finding new songs that I enjoy, like Feelings Mutual. I like that song as well. I like 444 plus 2222, something like that. I think that's track 2. And I also like track 3 as well. I forgot off the top of my head, but I think those sound, pretty good and everything. But one song that I wanted to focus on was Early 20 Rager. Now that song is kind of like in the middle of the album and everything, and that is the most Travis Scott sounding song in this entire album. Like, just the way he projects some of his lines and the way he produced and mixed some of the instrumentals and sounds in that track, it definitely does sound a lot like Travis Scott. Not exactly, but like heavily influenced by Travis Scott. So definitely there, I just want to point out that I felt that not that's a bad thing, but just that is definitely a lot more of a Travis Scott sounding song, at least. And going into kind of my kind of wrapping up of this album and everything, I don't think it's going to change a lot, honestly. I don't think it's going to change. I was talking to a lot of friends about it yesterday, and they were, they didn't agree with me. They thought, that the album was great, and that it was, I had one friend told me that it was, his favorite album of last year. And, there's an accident in front of me. Whoops. Gotta avoid that, boys. But beside the point, back to the album. So yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna change my mind on if it is something that is worth being, I don't know, because it's not like it's a bad album. Like, it's not like this album is like garbage or whatever. Like, that's not at all what I'm it's a 3-car accident. Jesus. Jeez. Sheesh. I hate car accidents, guys. I hate car accidents. But beside the point, it's not even that this album's bad. But I don't, I feel like my reaction to it is that it's just not, a banger album. Like, it's not like obviously there are bangers on this album. Like let me not be confused. Obviously there are bangers here, but I think it's a totally different thing where, with Birds in the Trap, for example, right? I said in that review, and I've said consistently, if you were to tell Kevin of 2014 or Kevin of 2013 that you would pick a Travis Scott album as your album of the year, this random artist that you heard on a Drake feature on If You're Reading This Is Too Late, if you told him, hey, this is gonna be your album of the year one year, I would tell you, you are crazy, dog. Just because I was never really into trap music that much, right? But just with this album, I'm not having that different effect where I'm loving the album. There are obviously great tracks that I've discussed already, and I've discussed in part 1 as well, but this, I just find this album to be a little bit kind of repetitive, a little bit boring even. It's just, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it as much as I felt other albums here. But I'm going to cut it there, and I will catch you all on part 3. All right, what is going on? It is part 3 of the Love is Rage 2 review and everything. And it is, I just got a quick side note, right? It is a Saturday morning. I'm feeling a little bit stuffy, what I'm saying? But outside is a little bit foggy. Not foggy, but a little bit cloudy. Definitely that gaming morning time in the weekends. But, beside the point, right? Let's review our final thoughts on this album. Right now, you all know, you've all heard my opinions here. I'm not too hot on this album and this project in in a more granular sense. There are songs that I like, but overall, I'm not feeling it too much. I'd like to give a quick shout outs to some really good songs that I didn't get to discuss here. Feelings Mutual, Pretty Mama, How to Talk, Loaded, and also to the intro to this album. Those aren't, up for me, unfazed and The Way Life Goes, etc. But you know, they are very, you know, they're very good tracks, right? They are good songs. I feel that should definitely get the credit, you know, it deserves, right? And I will still push this sentiment that, hey, you know, this album necessarily is not bad. It is not a subpar album. It is not a great, magnificent album. You know what I'm saying? At least to me personally, I do, you know, feel that, you know, it is good. It is good, right? There are a lot of good songs in this, but for me, it's a album where it has like a lot of streams where I think I really love a track or I really hate a track. Like, for real, like that track is annoying, get that out of my face. Also, Skrr, annoying. 20 minutes, the outro, very good. That's another thing I like to, you know, put on. The intro and the outro of this album, very good stuff, definitely did enjoy it. But you know, overall, like, you know, like historically, of course, on this album, we have EXO Tour Life, and obviously that's Lil, you know, that is literally Lil Uzi Vert's, like, you know, come up. Like, that is the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone thinks of that song whenever you think of Lil Uzi Vert, and you know, that is obviously earned because that song is great, and obviously it's on here. I just didn't mention it just because we've heard that song before. It's not anything new, whatever, but it is a very good track, obviously. And I feel like also there's something to note here is that with the EXO Tour Life on this album, it seemed to be mixed a little bit different, and he seemed to have like re-recorded the song. I feel like there's like a lot of parts that sound a little different. There's some like there's just some effects that was added to this song that wasn't in the original outing and release of this song and everything. So I feel like that's also something cool where he kind of like revamped the song as well. But the overall, in closing, I definitely do recommend you check out this album. You know, it's great for what it is. It's just not, you know, it just didn't blow me away. It just didn't blow me away. I thought it was a pretty good album. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for my time here. If you all enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below, and also let me know your thoughts on this album. Did you all like it? Did you all hate it? Let me know all your thoughts and, you know, everything you would like to tell me down here in the comments below. And make sure also to stick around with the channel. Make sure to keep that subscribe button on lock. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, I got you.